Some say that the world is coming to an end. Maybe they're right. For more than a year, everything has been plunged into chaos. The sacred holy empire of Abel, once a symbol of power and stability, has fallen. Broken and fragmented, the nations that were once part of it sought after the empty throne, and now the shadow of an insane war threatens to engulf everything. Oblivious to the conflict, the Order of Nathaniel, founded centuries ago to keep humanity safe from what lurks in the night, continued its restless fight against the dark. Over the ages, the Order waged countless secret wars, always hiding from mankind that the monsters who walked among us, our darkest fairy tales, were still there. And then, 2 days ago, something unexpected happened. While the Order was negotiating a way to stop the upcoming conflict with the warring states, the Red Lady, a high-ranking member of Nathaniel, stole one of the artifacts that the organization had sealed in the dark long ago. The Biblos, a book written with the blood of the founder of the Order. Nobody knew why she took it, nor the importance of the artifact, but I, Romeo Exet, leader of Nathaniel, did. Understanding what was at stake, I was forced to send the best agents of the organization to recover it at any cost. As fate would have it, amongst all of those agents, it would be the girl with no name, a cursed child bringing calamity with her, who would find it.
This place is devastated. I didn't think that the war had already come this far.
Ignore that nonsense, baby. What mankind does doesn't concern us. Our prey is near, I can tell.
At last we will have some fun.
What is it, Uneasy? That's not like you. You have nothing to fear. You are the bearer of calamities. You have at your disposal the most powerful weapon in the whole of creation sealed in a damned book. You've got me.
Shut up.
Welcome, Bearer of Calamities. I knew they would send you. Unfortunately, you've come too soon. I have not finished yet.
Lady, in recognition of your years of work for the Order, I will give you a chance to surrender and return the Biblos.
As pragmatic as ever. Well, I didn't expect a greeting from you.
What have you done with this place?
Make no mistake, Bearer of Calamities, I had nothing to do with the destruction of this city. Its inhabitants left before the armies of the Empire arrived. To prevent them from taking it, the people set it on fire and killed everyone who wanted to stay. It's human nature. War, murder, death. It is something you should already be accustomed to.
I didn't come here to listen to your pointless speech. Give me the artifact. I will not ask again.
Unfortunately, I'm not finished with it yet. But don't worry. I've prepared something to entertain you and your creature. Goodbye forever, bearer of calamities.
Wait! Damn.
Heaven's wrath! Heaven's wrath!
I was surprised that you didn't pounce on that woman. Did you know her?
She is one of the people who took care of my indoctrination. After I signed my pact with you.
Something like your teacher, eh?
Shut up.
Did you know I don't like water that much? Maybe being sealed in a book for so long has affected me after all.
Has anyone ever told you you're too pushy, my dear?
Wow, an existential barrier, and one of substantial power, if I may say.
Suggestions?
I sense three seals that support the barrier nearby. We must go back and find them if we want to move on. Don't worry, I'll make them visible for you, baby. One down, two to go.
Just one more.
The barrier has fallen, baby.
Seems more fun than the others. Come on, let me out.
Shut up!
Party pooper.
What is this place? I've never read anything about such ruins here.
I don't know. But whatever it is, I feel something ancient.
Lady.
I'll admit, I expected to have a little more time, Bearer of Calamities. The Byblos is not ready yet.
What do you want?
Want? I don't want anything, my dear. I'm just an instrument of salvation. But I don't expect someone like you to understand that. But you, my dear, were a fool for coming here. This whole place was built for only one purpose: to seal the very core of your power. You look frightened, dear. Are you afraid of monsters again?
Monsters? Those are no monsters. Let me show you what a real monster is. Ergo.
I love it!
Impressive. And to think that you only have a fragment of your true power. I guess this leaves me no choice but to interfere. I shouldn't have underestimated the power of the calamity. But it matters not. The ritual is complete.
What is this all about, lady? I don't understand you.
Oh, but you will, my dear. Everything is about to begin. Ugh! You should not be!
Who are you?
Baby, this guy's no joke. His power is too much for you.
I know.
Too late.
What?
Look out!
Once more. The same dream. Always the same. The little girl runs. She runs to escape the horror that haunts her. But what she sees at the end of the darkness, it's just an even greater nightmare.
Wake up, Sleeping Beauty. It's time to get out of bed.
Ergo? What happened? Where are we?
Not a clue. After that light, everything became chaotic. I only know that when I regained consciousness, I was in this place. I've never seen anything like it.
How long have I been asleep?
A few hours. Before you open your big mouth to complain, I tried to wake you up earlier. But stay calm. I assure you, nothing has come close or done anything to you while you slept.
Thanks.
Well, except me.
Ugh.
So, what's the plan? Are we still looking for your artifact? Or shall we try to find a way out of here?
First of all, I think that the most important thing would be to find out where we are and how we got here. Let's collect all the information we can, and later we'll have time to make an appropriate decision.
Listen to me, Bane. There's another thing that I need you to know. This place is oppressing me, as if it's trying to choke my very essence. My powers, and therefore yours, are greatly limited.
And that means?
That you're screwed. You'd better be careful.
You're worried about me? I don't need that from you. At the time, I didn't want to admit it, but I was calm just because he was there with me.
Look on the bright side. You don't have to keep looking for that teacher of yours. Hey, I just pointed out a completely innocent fact. The fact that you look so pissed off is just an added bonus for me.
Shut up. Ergo, what are you? I mean, Nathaniel has studied you for centuries, but none were able to discover too much about your origins.
Yes? And what did they say?
There were all kinds of theories. Some said that you were a malevolent manifestation of thousands of evil souls. Others theorized that you were a higher demon from another plane of existence. And some people thought that you were a god.
And what do you think?
I think that maybe you don't know what you are. That sometimes you're simply lost. So, what are you?
I am Ergo Mundus, little girl. No more, no less.
You really wanted to destroy the world?
Make no mistake, little baby. I never tried to destroy it. That's a stupid misconception that you people have about me. I've said it over and over again. My only intention was to sit on the Imperial throne.
But why?
Because I was told that it was impossible. It was a matter of principle. I would look bad if I merely let it pass, don't you think? Also, I was so bored at the time. I am power, babe. Absolute and unstoppable. Don't forget it.
And what about all the people who died in the uprising against you? All the innocents that you killed?
I have never killed anyone who didn't fight me. I am a monster, babe, not a murderer. Maybe the ones who decided to follow me did, not me.
But they were your followers after all.
I never asked them anything. They simply decided to tag along with me, as if I was some kind of savior for those who lurk in the shadows. Can you really blame them? For centuries they were hunted and destroyed. Even then, that was stupid. If they wanted to destroy mankind, they should have simply waited in the dark till humans couldn't find any other enemies than themselves.
What do you mean?
Look at the world. Can't you feel it? The ultimate war is coming. The Empire has fallen, and many want to take the throne. Millions will die. At the end, mankind is its own worst enemy. Don't you think?
I think that sometimes we may be lost. We can hate and destroy, but we can also find our way. There is hope for us, Ergo. If you see the darkness, it's because there's light.
Sometimes I think that you really are too nice for this job. That or you're simply an idiot.
Why did you take my name away?
I did not. I mean, not because I wanted to. It is something that happens with all the people who sign a pact with me. My essence consumes something from you to link yourself with my power. It takes away a part of your existence. Other people forgot your name because, well, it's like that part of you never existed to begin with.
And you? Do you know it? My name?
Oh, maybe.
Could you tell me what it is?
No.
How did you end up sealed in that book? I mean, I've heard the whole story more than once, but I always wanted to hear it directly from you.
Oh, come on. For real? Why do you want to know that? It's an old story.
I won't force you, but I am really curious.
Centuries ago, soon after I appeared in the world, I fought against the Empire due to a little misunderstanding. When I was about to win, my body, my real form, was temporally shattered in a fight against the greatest agents of Nathaniel, the Empire, and the Church led by a Lenii Grimoire. But it was pretty obvious for them that I couldn't be really destroyed. Ellie understood that it was just a matter of time until I would reform myself in a new body and created a countermeasure against me. She put a part of me inside of this book, an ancient artifact full of seals made of her own blood, and tricked my spirit to go there. I was pretty confused in that moment, so I really fell for it. When I understood what was happening, my soul was already fused with this vessel, and her seals limited my power. And voila! I had become a book. Fun story?
Thanks for telling me. Why do you work with Nathaniel? I mean, we are the ones who sealed you.
Well, when I became a book, my movement and powers were quite restricted. Nathaniel could not destroy me. Even in this form, they never found a way to finish me for real. Especially because no one knows if I could simply reclaim my old body again. So, they decided to lock me down. During that time, the only one who visited me was Ellie, which made my confinement bearable. One day, when I was really bored, she came to me with a proposal. If I agreed to loan my powers to Nathaniel, I would be able to go back to the world, helping the organization to destroy things that could be a menace for everyone. That manipulative woman. I couldn't say no to her. You know very well the rest of the story. A catalyst was needed to use my powers, a human medium that could supervise my actions. For that reason, the first bearer of calamities was born, someone that would be able to use me, bonding with my essence. At least, that way I would be able to loosen up from time to time. But honestly, all the previous bearers were a bunch of assholes. Did you see that? Someone was there.
I know. What?
Wherever we are, this is not the world we both know.
Go back. This place is not safe.
You? What the hell are you doing here?
Not the time or place to talk. Go back from where you came. I will wait for you there.
Ergo? You know what that thing was?
Let's go back, baby.
Answer me.
There is something I need to check. Let's go back. Wow, is it really you? You can't stop seeing me, not even after a generation, eh?
I have no choice. There are just some children who need a lot of attention. Hello, Ergo. You can't complain. This time you got a real beauty. There's no comparison to the previous bearers.
Nah, she's just a crybaby. You and your ass are still my favorites.
Are you trying to hit on me again?
Just until it works.
Sorry for ruining your date. Is it possible for one of you to tell me what's happening?
We meet at last, Bearer of Calamities. Sorry for my lack of respect.
Glad you know who I am. Unfortunately, I still don't know who you are, creature.
You don't know? For real? Pathetic. The whole of mankind owes everything to this woman. This creature, as you call her, is who, against all odds, managed to deceive and seal the most powerful monster which has ever walked the world.
You won't say it was you, right, little book?
You are Elianai Grimoire, the founder of Nathaniel, the first amongst the great saints. You're the woman who sealed Ergo in the Book of the Void.
Well, more or less. I'm happy to meet you.
Forgive my rudeness. I didn't anticipate anything good from one of Ergo's acquaintances.
I can't blame you for that. Also, my appearance is not exactly reassuring.
Are you dead?
I am as alive as you, but my body is in stasis due to some problems in the past. What you see now is just a spiritual projection that my mind, awake only for short periods of time, can generate.
What's happening, Ellie? Even if I know I am irresistible to you, I know you're not here for me. For you to get personally involved in something is not a good sign.
I'm not here of my own accord. Something called me, and I'm not alone. Just as you are, there are things gathering in this tower. Entities with real power. Some are already here, and others, they are still coming. I don't know what it was, but one of the worst ones was just at the end of where I met you. But I think that it already left.
Are you kidding me? Should I remind you who you're talking to? I can blow up this whole place with one finger.
I can feel how weak you are, Ergo. It's useless to hide it from me. I've never seen you like this. In your current condition, I'm not even convinced you're going to be fine. Or if she will, for that matter.
My lady, You don't need to worry about me. I have a mission to accomplish entrusted to me by the Supreme Inquisitor.
Bearer, I know the artifact you're looking for very well. It's a book written by my sister with her own blood. I can assure you, it's not our priority now. I still don't understand the scope of what's happening and where we are. I tried to reach some of these entities, but without success. It seems that access to them is somehow closed. There are different seals somehow linked with fragments of their essence. Maybe if we could obtain some of them. But
What's happening?
I am unsure. Sorry. I don't think I can sustain this form much longer.
Ellie!
You should... Sorry.
Wait! Damn.
Don't worry. She will be fine. She's a tough one. We will see her again soon. For sure.
Okay, let's go. Let's meet those things.
That sounds nice. These seals are really powerful. A mansion?
Look at all those puppets. They seem almost alive.
Yeah, this looks like a haunted house. I hope that they move and attack us or something. That would be so cool.
Solomon Magitech. Science of the Lost Times?
Unusual. It's not something you expect to see in a place like this. Babe, these seals, they are linked to the paintings.
Yes. There must be something in them. Magical golems from Solomon?
Yeah, this mansion is full of surprises. You see? Living evil puppets! Hell yeah!
Oh, shut up! There is so much suffering here. The entity linked to this place is a psycho. They say that 1 in every 1,000 people is special, and 1 in every million an unparalleled genius. Nazcal Mayorim is 1 in a billion. Since childhood, he showed an inordinate talent to create, a skill that surpassed even the greatest masters of the world. With such a gift, there was never any doubt that, if he wanted, he could have become anything that he desired. But Nazcal did not care for such things, for his only passion was the marionettes. When he was a little boy, his parents took him to a theater, where he saw for the first time what would become his obsession. These simple figures of wood and metal, artificial beings posing as people, fascinated him in an incomprehensible way. And it was then, at such an early age, he decided to devote his life to them. Year after year, Nazcal learned everything about their construction and handling, developing unique methods to give them more realism and mobility. With time, his works became incomparable, so perfect that it was difficult to distinguish them from living beings. His marionettes were valued as masterworks and appreciated everywhere. And only now, upon turning 25, is Nazcal truly pleased. Everyone recognizes that he is the greatest artist in the world.
Death traps? This is our best date ever!
Blood. I only remember the blood. What kind of monster am I? No! Don't free me!
I am sorry, World Walkers. I have nothing to say. I am sorry.
I am nobody. I have never been. But somewhere in this prison is my wife. Free her. She will know how to reward you.
I am the one who devours everything. The one who stands over creation itself. I am the power.
Everything is confusing. I was a creator, the greatest of all, but I committed a sin. Now I have only what I deserve.
I have no importance. There is nothing I can do for you. My husband, he is imprisoned in this place. Free him.
I'm just a merchant, and if I had a name, I do not remember it now. Open this door, and I promise you that I'll know how to thank you.
The secrets, the passages, they echo in my head like screams. Stop them! Make them stop!
So you really do have the ability to move between rooms in Arcane. They're definitely different from the rest.
You're the entity that we saw before in the central room.
Correct. But it would be better if you don't ask silly questions like who I am or what I'm doing here. I can't answer what I don't know.
You're different from the other shadows.
Because I have awareness of everything around me? You could say that.
I've seen more like you. They were locked in a prison. I tried to talk to them, but they were not lucid.
Nor will they ever be as long as they're there. For many of them, that's not where they belong. In their correct rooms, they would be more lucid, as you say.
So I just need to free them?
You can't release them, it would be impossible for you. The tower won't allow it. They're too entrenched in their memories.
And you think that some bars will be a huge impediment? Idiot.
What imprisons them may seem to be metal bars easy for you to bend and destroy, but I assure you, it's much more than that. Each place is a whole existence by itself. It's the very concept of a prison which contains them.
So there's no way?
I didn't say that. I said it was impossible for you. But why are you interested? Do you have some relationship with any of them?
A few seem to have relevant information for us.
Interesting. I think I'll help you with this. It may be worth contemplating what will happen.
Can you do it?
Every gate has an exit. Every prison a way out. Just as there are doors, there are also keys in the tower that can open them. Here's one. It will open any door, but only one. Like I said, they're more in arcane. You only need to find them. But it would be better if you were both very careful when choosing which prisoners to release. Not all of them tell the truth. Not everyone deserves to be imprisoned. Not everyone deserves to be freed. Choose well. It will bring consequences. And even if you find all the keys, in the end, one door will remain locked. Now go. I'm done talking.
They say that 1 in every 1,000 people is special, and 1 in every million an This place. This is part of the messenger. Everything here resonates with his fragments of memories. We can use it to reach him.
Yes, but we will need at least 3 to summon him.
They say that 1 in every 1,000 people is special, and 1 in every million, an unparalleled genius. Nazcal Mayorim is 1 in a billion. Since childhood, he showed an inordinate talent to create, a skill that surpassed even the greatest Nazcal entered the hall where the Council of Brax was taking place. The greatest artists and creators of the world met once every decade under those walls. Different civilizations, even non-human creatures, were there to show the wonders they had created over the years. Naturally, only the very best could attend, those whose fame had crossed all frontiers. For many of them, just having been invited represented an honor, but to Nazcal, it was quite the opposite. They should feel honored by his attendance. The puppet master walked through the room, trying to pass unnoticed. He paid little attention to several uninspired works that only reminded him of why he was superior to everyone else. Nazcal smiled ruefully. Although he did not expect too much from others, he had wished to find something to at least rival with his talent. Lost in those thoughts, a distant word caught his attention. Someone had mentioned Gaudeamus, the creator of wonders, whose fame had reached even Nazcal's ears. Apparently, he had also been invited, and a group of people were talking to him not too far away. Interested by his fame, Nazcal approached him to share some anecdotes with a fellow genius. To his surprise, the legendary creator was much younger than he had expected, and was quick to shake his hand and exchange a polite greeting. Nazcal was about to ask about the works he was exhibiting in the council, when the whole room became silent. Everyone whispered that Gaudeamus had just arrived. At that moment, the confused Nazcal understood what they meant, and a chill of terror ran through his spine. The person he was talking with was not a living being, but a doll. Work of Gaudeamus was what he had heard the people say before. Even if it was only for a moment, the mere idea that he had not noticed such a thing overwhelmed the mind of the puppet master. Frantically, his eyes began to gaze closely at all the works exhibited by Gaudeamus. The mere sight of them burned his retinas, but at the same time, he was unable to look away. The feeling of anxiety that oppressed his chest grew until it became pain. He even had trouble breathing in the same room that stored such wonders. Unable to wait any more, he staggered out of the room and did not stop running until he was outside. Then, Nazcal cried and laughed as hard as he could. He had been blind all this time. In his egotism, he thought he was on top of the world when he was only standing on a small hill. Only in that moment did he realize that his work was far from having reached its full potential. That night would change his life completely. He would create greater works. He would surpass Gaudeamus, surpass them all. From that moment, his obsession would be perfection. Nascal entered the hall where the Council of Brax was taking place. Nascal entered the hall where the Council of Brax was taking place. The Nascal entered the hall where the Council of Brax was taking place. The greatest artists and creators of the world met once every decade under those walls. Nascal suddenly awoke. For months, he had been unable to sleep well, and that night had been particularly bad, something which he blamed on the emotion of being so close to finishing his work. Washing his face, he noticed how terrible he looked in the mirror, and thought that very soon he would have to be ready to return to society. Nascal was unsure of how much time had passed since he had visited the Council of Brax. After that night, he invested his vast fortune in creating a secluded mansion away from the civilized world. A huge and well-equipped workshop in which he could devote body and soul to his work, free from distractions. It had been years, or maybe even decades, since the last time he had contact with another human being. But loneliness meant little to him. All that mattered was that he was close to reaching his goal. Over the years, just improving his creative talent wasn't enough for Nascal. His goal was much higher. He devoted day after day to research the same process Gaudemus developed to make his works, becoming an unrivaled expert in lost science and supernatural rituals. With such unusual tools, he managed to create countless animated puppets, which were able to move by themselves, the very ones that now protected his mansion and took care of its maintenance. but they were all just prototypes for his definitive work, the ultimate puppet, an artificial being so perfect it would not be aware that it was not alive. Nazcal solemnly went down to the heart of his workshop, where his most valued masterpiece waited for him. On the table was a body. Any observer would think without a doubt that it was a true human being. It had the same appearance as its creator, as identical as 2 drops of water. The master puppeteer smiled. In his next encounter with Gaudamus, it would be his marionette that greeted him, an ironic joke that only he would be able to understand. After reviewing the status of the project for hours, Nazcal determined that it was only a matter of days until it was finished. Only a few pieces were missing, which should be stored in his secondary workshop. With unusual anxiety, he walked to the north wing in search of them. It had been a long time since he had visited that area of the mansion, and he was not even really sure of why he stopped going there. Upon entering the room, the master puppeteer was struck by the terrible state of the place. He didn't remember having forsaken it for so long. Without giving it too much thought, Nazcal walked to where the pieces were stored, but he saw something in his way which puzzled him. There, sitting in the workshop, was a corpse, holding the parts Nazcal had come for. His flesh, rotted and dried, was in pretty bad shape, suggesting that it had been in that place for a long time. Surprised, Nazcal approached to examine the body, but before he could do so, the puppet master became completely paralyzed with terror. Because, despite being worn and wasted, there was no doubt. The corpse had exactly the same face as him. Nascal suddenly awoke. For months, they said Nascal entered the hall where the Council of Brax was taking place. The greatest art.
Azrael!
This formula, it emanates a different energy from the rest of this place.
I'm just a match.
Everything is confusing. I was a...
I am sorry, World.
Blood.
Nascal entered the hall where the Council of Brax was taking place. The greatest art. Nascal entered the hall where the Council of Brax was taking place. The greatest. This formula.
I must thank you for what you did for me. I was confused when I was locked in that place. Once upon a time, my name was Gaudemus, but it's probably more appropriate to say that I am just the memory of him, created by Nazgul. In a part of his mind, I committed the sin of surpassing him, and I needed to be punished for that. There is little I can do as a reward, but let me at least share with you the part of Nazgul that is in me.
What was a human being? What exactly was he? Nazgul didn't know for how long, years perhaps. He had asked the same questions without finding an answer. Was the dead body in the workshop the real Nazgul? But if it was, why did it hold the parts needed to complete the project? The puppet master had his body analyzed several times over the years, trying to find something that could help him determine if he was a man or a marionette. In his research, Nazgul severed some of his limbs, replacing them with metal implants, an irony that even he could see. Desperate, he began to consider using other humans as guinea pigs for research. However, after all of his sacrifices, he was still not even one step closer to finding the truth. But what if none of that mattered? People, puppets, what if there had never been any difference from the start?
If that thing says something like, "It's dangerous to go alone," I will kill him.
Welcome to this, my humble room. My name is Velez. It is a pleasure for me to meet such distinguished guests. A monster without fate and a young lady who has lost everything. Calm down, you have nothing to fear. I'm not an enemy. Though I suppose I would not consider myself an ally either. I am neither a memory nor a guest of the tower. You could say I'm a simple intermediary.
He speaks the truth, baby. I feel no hostility from him. In fact, I don't feel anything from him at all.
I know, but I can't help being uneasy. There's something strangely familiar about him. Velez was your name, right? Excuse me if I was rude. The truth is that it's been a difficult day.
Do not worry, my dear. Under the circumstances, it's logical that you're confused. You're not the only one here who feels this way. If you mean the tower, it has many names, but I think that it would be appropriate to call it Arcane. A place where the real world and the dream are part of the same side of the coin. The chamber, as I told you before, is Labyrinthos, my humble home. If you are here, you were chosen. You, a monster without fate. Choose what? Your eyes ask, even when your lips have not yet moved. Everything. There are no limits. Such is my task. You can obtain everything or nothing, as long as you exchange it for something of equal value.
Bearer of calamities, I felt your presence.
Lord Romeo?
Exet, are you kidding, babe? The damn Supreme Inquisitor here?
Shut up!
I am outside the building. Our forces, our armies, Nathaniel, the Inquisition, they are all here. I used all my power to create this gap that allows us to communicate, but it is unstable. We must be brief.
Milord, Lady, she's dead. And the artifact is still missing. But it's just a matter of time before I...
Silence. What is happening is much more serious than you think. Far more than any of us ever thought. Just one person predicted it. And now we're too late. The whole world is in chaos. Many of the rules of reality are breaking. And this place is the source of everything.
I'm sorry, my lord. I don't understand.
The book you had to recover, the Biblos, was a collection of prophecies made by Harel Grimoire. They described certain conditions that would cause the end of the world. The object itself was unimportant. What mattered was the content. According to her omens, when a certain number of unique entities were reunited, they would bring about the end of all existence. For centuries, we have called these creatures the Messengers of the End, a suitable name for those who are considered the harbingers of the world's destruction. However, we never exactly understood all the intricacies of the prophecy, nor were able to locate all of the messengers, until now.
My lord?
They are coming, Bearer of Calamities. Many are already here. This place is attracting the messengers to its core. We don't know how or why, but these creatures are meeting here for the first time. But we cannot enter. The tower is not in the same reality I am, where any of us are. Before me, there are only ruins and desolation. But you are already inside, which only means one thing. You are the last resort we have. You are my weapon, the darkness that devours darkness, my instrument of destruction. Find them, annihilate them, all of them, or the world will not see many more sunrises. We will try to stop them here before they arrive, but many will enter through the crevices between realities. Now go, Hunter of Shadows. You have much to do.
Romeo! Romeo! Wherefore art thou, shithead Romeo?
Vaguely, the consciousness of the being that was once Nazcal awakened. He looked at the world through the hundreds of eyes that were his terminals, independent puppets connected to his senses. The entity had witnessed the passage of time with a perspective that only immortality could grant, and was satisfied with the outcome. The only thing that he came to regret was the death of Gaudamus, who passed away before he could see how his legend was surpassed. However, in the end, that didn't really matter either. It was the fate of all those beings who were unable to reach Nazcal's heights. More than 200 years ago, he was forced to flee from the continent, chased by the Inquisition when his true nature was discovered. From that moment on, he traveled from one place to another until he made his residence in the lost civilizations of the depths of the jungle, since he found their old creative techniques interesting. There, he rebuilt his mansion and continued with his work, creating beings that transgress the line between the living and artificial. To ensure that no one could oppose him, in that period Nazcal obtained the power to overcome any threat. He surrounded himself with a legion of extremely efficient combat marionettes and modified his body over and over until all that was left of its original form was a part of his brain and his spinal cord. Its size grew disproportionately, gaining a height of over 90 feet, and he armed himself with all sorts of artifacts of enormous destructive power. Unfortunately, producing enough energy to move such a structure was very complex, so he was forced to power his generators with hundreds of souls. This caused his personal power to increase exponentially until he became a vast, living weapon. Now he went on with the same enthusiasm that he had when he was just a small child, with the sole aim of creating new puppets, perfect creatures that, like him, transcend the limits of life itself, and he will continue to do so until the world is ready to change. Vague. This formula. This place. This.
Yes. 2 more. 1 more.
You shouldn't be here. This is my core.
Nascal the Puppet Master. Come out. Don't hide in the shadows.
Go away. If you won't, I will destroy you.
Answer me. What is your intention coming to the tower?
I did not come. I was brought here. I heard a voice whispering in my head. I saw a light, and then I was here.
I have seen your memories. The things that you've done. The lives you've destroyed. Everything. You lost yourself and became a monster.
Wrong. I never lost myself. That was all for the art. And what about all the things that you have destroyed coming here? And even before that, we are all sinners looking for an answer, Hunter of Shadows. The only difference is the reasons.
Come out. Let's put an end to this.
I will. You will be wonderful marionettes. creations. You can't run. Everything is for the art. My beautiful creations. you shouldn't be.
Nazgul.
Everything is for the art. Run. Come, my beautiful creations. Everything is for the art. beautiful creations. See them in the theater, the marionettes. They are wonderful.
Huh? This power. Baby, what's happening?
The dream goes on. The little girl is still in the dark hallways of the heart of the Order of Nathaniel. Around her, there are dozens of sealed rooms which contain incomprehensible monstrosities that should not exist. The Inquisition brought the child there only a few hours ago. They said it was just for protection, to be sure that she was safe, although the truth is that they didn't know what to do with her. It was too dangerous to let her live, but she was still an innocent child. Even the most radical amongst them didn't want to kill her just because her blood was different. A blood that would empower any supernatural creature who fed on her. The Inquisition thought that her pursuers would not be able to enter the holy city of Nathaniel, so they would have time to decide what to do there. They were wrong. The little girl can't run anymore. The long hallway ends, and in the darkness, she finds a closed door. With her frail arms, the child opens it. She hopes that inside, she can finally hide from the things that follow her. Those who pursue her are the same monsters that had destroyed her village. The ones who took her parents away. The ones who stole the little world that she had known. Her small eyes look around the room. A chill runs through her body. It seems that no one has been there for a long time. But it is not empty. In the center, there is a book. And somehow, looking at it, she feels even colder than before. Ergo? What happened?
I'm not sure.
For a legendary godlike entity, you know very little.
I was near omnipotent, baby, not omniscient. Knowing too much always spoils the fun. My guess is that the core was linked to that entity. After we destroyed him, it couldn't hold itself together and collapsed. Following that, we reappeared in this place. I don't know why you lost consciousness. There's something else I want to tell you. Little girl, that power, the one you felt there, it's mine.
What do you mean?
After kicking the ass of that guy, something came to me. I thought it was merely assimilating his essence, but it was more. I regained part of my power, my real power, the one I am unable to use, sealed in this book.
Why are you telling me this?
Honestly, I'm not very sure. I guess I just wanted to play fair with you. Or maybe I just wanted to freak you out a little. In any case, it is true. And the plan is?
You don't need to ask. We'll stick to our original goal.
I can't complain. This is becoming much more fun than I thought it could be.
Haskell wasn't always like that. He was once a great man, an incredible artist. But he lost his way, became something sinister.
summon you, Azrael! You, Azrael!
This formula. Lady Ellie and I.
Hi, bearer of the annoying book. I'm glad to see you again, safe and sound.
How are you, Ellie? The last time we saw you, you seemed to be in some kind of trouble.
Worried?
No, I know how difficult you are to kill firsthand. And everyone knows that it took a manifestation of hell itself just to knock you out for a while.
Lady Ellie and I. Lord Romeo Exet was able to contact us. We have our orders. All our forces are outside, while we need to destroy certain creatures.
Little Romeo is involved too. This is as serious as I thought. He thinks that it is the prophecy, right? The one that my sister foretold. The messengers of the end. If that's the case, it means that once all of them are reunited, it would trigger the end of the world. But something is wrong. I feel it. I will try to talk with Romeo, if I'm able to manifest myself outside.
Why are you in this place?
Honestly, I have no idea. My manifestations are too chaotic. I can't even move freely around here. I'm limited to stay in some rooms. Once I've regained enough strength, I will manifest again in the center of the core room, and from there, I will try to explore other places to see what I can discover. If you need something, I will be there from now on.
These seals are really powerful. I don't think that we can open them, baby.
So, you are here at last. I must fulfill my part of the deal, just as I promised. This is yours. I know that somewhere in this place there's a person who will be interested in it. Me? There's little of that.
What is your relationship with Ellie and I?
Jealous?
You wish, Ergo. But I was wondering why you treat her so differently from the others.
She really is something else. Maybe the only person I respect in the world. She has done some crazy shit. You know why she's like that? Long ago, before even facing me, she sacrificed her own body to destroy an entity which was feeding off of dead gods.
You mean the first war in the shadow?
Yeah, and even in that pathetic half-life status she's in now, that crazy woman was able to face me and lure me into a trap.
The great Ergo Mundus didn't see it coming.
Oh, no. Of course I knew it was a trap. She told me directly. But it was like the throne thing. A matter of principle. I couldn't just ignore the chance to fight the greatest powers in the world, you know.
She outwitted you and you lost.
Let's call it a technical tie.
You lost and ended up sealed in a book.
La 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 la, I can't hear you.